Hey, so I wanted to offer an update on my final year project. It's been quite a while since I've made one of these vlogs, and that's kind of for good reason. When you're pulling what is now multiple systems left, right, and centre to try and get them to stream all these different crazy things that you're trying to achieve, it doesn't really make sense to start trying to break that apart to then do one of these streams. So I've just kind of been stuck doing that and not this, but I wanted to get back to doing this to kind of tell you all what's going on. So today has been a big day. I've made a thorough breakthrough, and I've actually kind of successfully put together a fully working network. Let's backtrack a little bit, because when I left you last, I was trying to get a few different things working. We'd done some Facebook Live tests with First Order Ambisonics just to prove that that was possible. And we'd started working with Mac One Audio, which is an amazing audio format, and I definitely recommend, if you're working with audio, to get out there and give it a go, because I think it's great. Spatial resolution is top, and it sounds really good. Now, this working with Mac One Audio had kind of taken me to looking at the Samsung VR platform, which looked like a kind of perfect way to try and showcase this live streaming, this new live streaming, and it accepted Mac One Audio, or at least in a video on demand kind of sense, it accepted Mac One Audio, and it was alluded to that it did on with live streams. Now, I spent quite a while trying to stream to their servers with it, and quite even longer trying to get hold of their customer service, non-existent by the way. Luckily, Dylan at Mac One managed to give me some email addresses of some people actually working on the development of the platform. And we did lots of work. It took me a little while. I had to get a new graphics card for my PC because it wasn't handling the video encoding very well. I've got that now, so that's kind of all going well. I thought that might have been the problem, but it kind of turns out that it doesn't. That their live streaming infrastructure doesn't support Mac One, so that kind of put me right back to square one with no MPEG-H, no Mac One audio, Facebook not looking to support above First Order Ambisonics in the near future, neither YouTube, and every other platform available. Nothing is really possible. All of this has been like a massive shame and a really big blow to me. And at one point, I had resigned myself to just writing about what might be possible in the next 6 months to a year, when we start seeing 5G rolling out and when people start getting interested in this stuff again, and that it was gonna become more of a research paper and less of a practical artifact, which is a shame, because I really wanted to get something moving with this. It was at this point that I'd noticed Zylia, the guys from Poland, doing some fantastic work with their great third order ambisonic microphones, had teamed up with a pair of students, Thomas and Nils, from IEM in Graz. I'm not entirely sure if they're in Graz, but anyway, they're students at that university, who have been developing an MPEG dash player that will handle up to fourth order ambisonics. Now, this kind of got my brain kind of whirring, because they were using it in a VOD fashion, so video on demand, and they've got an example on their website, so go over and check that out. It sounds great, it looks cool, but it's the world's first, I think, kind of up to fourth order ambisonic kind of web player. There's no support currently for head-mounted displays, but it's there. So I thought, hey, I've got nothing to lose. I'm at a dead end. I emailed these guys and were like, it's a dash player, right? Do you think it will work in a live streamed scenario? I can get you dash streams. we can test it. And Thomas, who I've been speaking to regularly, is very keen, and he's like, yes, let's do this. So it's kind of got me back on track. And for the last, well, that was Christmas Day, so what a Christmas present. And for the last 2 weeks, where are we now? Yeah, about 2 weeks from Christmas, early January now, I've been working to try and get this working. Now, the player itself handles the audio differently to what you might normally expect of a Dash player that will just take one stream that will have an audio stream and a video stream encapsulated within it, all encapsulated together. That's not how this player works, and that's kind of the key to how it works. Is it takes audio streams that are broken down into separate, smaller channel chunks. So Thomas was telling me the tests they were doing, they were using 8 channel AACs with channel 4, which is usually LFE, with no audio in it, and they were just breaking out those channels, using a few of those feeds, breaking out those channels, and then muxing them together with a video inside the player, which is a really interesting approach. So that's kind of what I'm having to do at my end. Now, I'm going to pull over to my screen here. So, all right, here is, I obviously can't run Reaper at the moment, but here is a screenshot of my Reaper project. Now, here's just a mic, and we're using the IEM stereo encoder here to encode to third order ambisonics. We're going to test with third order ambisonics for the time being. It works well. 16 channels is a round number for the Dante Virtual Soundcard, which is the sound card I'm using. And then we've got these 4 channels here where I split. So there isn't actually any splitting going on here, not any physical splitting of the audio feeds, but I am addressing the 4 different 4 channels individually, and I've got a time adjuster on it. So if we see any synchronous issues later on, sample-based synchronous issues, we can time adjust them to get them correct. With ambisonics, it's very important that everything is time aligned. So we're outputting out of this Reaper project via Dante Virtual Soundcard, and then I'm coming into my MacBook Pro, which is here. All right. In fact, I've kind of got some stuff working up there at the moment. Now, I'm gonna pull up my Keep because yeah, let's show you on here. Let's just pull this down here for a second. If we look here, we have this. Now, this script here, I run on my MacBook. This grabs the audio from my Dante sound card on this machine. It has to be the inputs. That's why I need it on a different machine. And splits it into 4 different feeds. Now, the bottom one here is actually what I use to stream. Now, down here underneath the camera, you can't see it, but I have another machine that this is the IP address for that live, and so that this live component here, this is the Wowzer streaming engine that I run on this machine. So that this FFmpeg script here outputs the audio from my MacBook into I'm gonna have to hurry up here, we're running out of time, into my streaming server where it meets the video coming from my OBS over RTMP but they both meet up, so 5 feeds inside my streaming server, which can then be sent via MPEG dash encapsulation to Thomas's HOAST360 Dash player, and that's it. We're up to date. We've got it. We're there. And it's brilliant. Thanks for tuning in.